Hi, I'm Anatole, and this is my reaction video for You Season 1, Episode 1, titled Pilot. Sorry. And the reason I'm recording this today, I asked my friends on Facebook for a suggestion on what video I should do, what show I should do a reaction video for. And among the several I was given, all of them are good. All of them were worthy of me doing a reaction video. You was the one that seemed to have the least amount or the fewest amount of videos for on YouTube, and I kind of like championing shows that are overlooked by many people. And I know this show has a following, but the fact that there were only a few people who have done reaction videos for decided it for me. So here I am about to do a reaction for this show, spur of the moment. That's kind of why I'm stumbling a little bit as I speak. I was not planning on doing this at the beginning of my day. The showrunners for it were Greg Berlanti, Sarah Gamble, and Leslie Morgenstein. And Greg Berlanti's been around for a long time. He does the Arrowverse shows. He's responsible for those. He's been a producer or a writer for Riverdale, Dawson's Creek. He's been around for a long time. Sarah Gamble was a writer and I think showrunner for Supernatural, and she's doing this sci-fi series Magicians right now. And Leslie Morgenstein, Gossip Girl. She seems like more of an executive. I don't think she has writing credits, but he is an executive, but he was responsible for the production of Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries, Pretty Little Liars, The Lying Game. So he's the one that gives the green light for many of these book-to-TV projects. And is a book before it was adapted to the Lifetime / Warner Horizon Television / Netflix series. Anyway, that's enough of the background material. So join me after the intro when I will do my reaction for You, Season 1, Episode 1, titled Pilot.
Blouse is loose. You're not going to be oval, but those bracelets. Hey, Jack.
Voiceover, that's cool.
You like a little attention. Too sun-kissed for Stephen King.
Really nice camera work.
Will you buy?
Hello.
How you doing?
Do you work here?
Guilty.
Of everything.
Find something.
I feel weirdly validated.
I'm interested.
She is Courtney Love's maternal grandmother. You're not expected to know that.
Good. I didn't.
Because I wasn't going to pass the test.
Anyone.
People buying books because of what's popular, not because they want to be moved or changed in some way.
Yeah. It's an epidemic.
This dialogue is sharp, it's also a little cringy too.
If Dan Brown's your kink, then be out about it.
Dude, I can't believe that people would buy something to hide behind Dan Brown.
Sometimes they surprise you.
Oh, You, the title.
Fox.
Woo.
Anyone working here?
Yeah, come on. I got things to do, man. It's frowned upon using narration
You mind? I'm in a hurry.
because it can cover a lot of writing sins.
When all he really wants to do is.
But when it's done right, it can add a lot of character and personality.
Go on.
Handshake? Give her a little squeeze.
What do I tell you? Always be closing that chick.
That's Glengarry Glen Ross. ABC! Always be closing. But I imagine the voiceover comes from the book itself. It's written in a narrator's voice.
But are you then?
From the perspective of the narrator. The main character is the narrator. Okay, that person he's with will be important to the story. I'm guessing.
To be sure.
Uh-oh, stalker! Just looks like a bunch of actresses who are friends.
No. I'm sorry, you're too nice. It's no big deal. I had a gift card.
She have a credit card debt?
I broke her here. Christmas. Catch you later.
So I don't buy those for his friends. They just look like a bunch of actresses cast to be his friends.
Is that the best friend?
Dexter had narration, didn't it? Dexter narrated the events of the story. I think so. Yeah. It's funny you showed up just now.
Thank you. You're so kind.
And so
I
handsome.
don't suppose
Well, it was the 19th century. People still had manners.
Not like today when they stand outside windows and stalk. I'm getting bad feeling about this. Don't let him close the door. Watch the door. Watch the door, dude. Watch the door.
I probably shouldn't take this off.
It's not a first edition, it's just an old one. Besides, I trust it.
I was going to ask, what edition is that? I don't like that room. It looks like it could be a cage to trap someone. Okay, now get mad at him. Let's see it. Let's see it. Do it. Do it. There it is.
I'll even do your laundry.
Take it. Take it. There it is. There's your
I'll
memento.
take care of you.
I'm not condoning that behavior, by the
We'll
way.
make our...
Let's find some. Yep. There it is. The X-rated photos.
Professor Lady. Paul.
Call me Paul while I sexually harass you.
she's used to my generosity.
Nice camera work. Looks like they brought a wide-angle lens up close and then put it at a low aperture to get that weird distortion with the blurred background.
You started a few poems about that day, but you never finished them.
How about I help you out and finish them
None
for
of
you?
this matters.
I remember what you said when you said money.
Under the bed. Under the bed. She's okay. You gotta take a shower after dealing with that
I'm
creep
working constantly.
professor.
I did.
Just the shower?
It's not how the world works. I know.
Yes, the shower.
It's just
But he's not under the bed. He's in the shower. She's not gonna hear the water dripping off his clothes into the tub.
But the things you do for love, right?
Ain't that the truth? I do not condone his behavior.
People don't want to hear some wannabe read a poem about the bleakness of life or whatever.
For
Friends
people who
aren't
aren't
loyal.
really friends, just actresses hired for a role saying things that people don't say in real life.
another round of pickleback.
Pickleback.
Positive.
That's a band from Canada.
I'm a poet.
I'm a loser. So why don't you kill me?
Why are you so sad? Just so sad.
Because I have to deal with douchebags like you. Hey, it's Tom Waits, everyone. Tom, what are you doing down here?
What if some sicko had followed you down here? Too
Like
wasted.
me.
Beck,
Oh,
stop
come on, don't tell me
texting
she's
You're
gonna almost
close.
fall over. He's gonna save her.
And to hell with that phone.
There she goes.
What was your last name
She's
again?
doing a good job.
Goldberg.
Where did you come from, Joe
I
Gold?
mean, the actresses.
Beck, it's freezing out here.
Thanks for warming her up.
Must have dropped it in the subway.
Oh, maybe give me your number?
It's okay, because I already have your phone.
You're smart.
Show us her phone. We saw her save it. There it
Set
is.
In the ways you are
No, he didn't touch me.
But the book.
First step to fixing something is to know no matter how destroyed it seems, it can always be saved.
Talking about people or books.
Right out of Bugs Bunny. Trust a mallet.
Which you can use on books or
See this?
people. I wonder how long it would take to repair a book like that. And there we go. Pop goes the weasel. I do not condone this behavior.
Please, you don't have to get me
Shut up and just look at it.
Oh, that's funny. You got a sense of humor.
I'm human. I make mistakes. You'll see.
Oh,
To
okay.
check on a shit.
Thank you for letting us know. PSA.
But I'm right about you. And I'm going to
Oh,
help
he's
you
still
get the
alive.
life you deserve, Beck.
He's trapped inside the book cage. Books have been removed.
I don't.
I think that's the end of the episode, more or less. All right, so that's it. Join me in a second. I'll give my brief review and thoughts on the episode. Welcome back. And now for my review of You Season 1, Episode 1 Pilot. My first comment has to do with the genre. And the predecessor, the immediate predecessor that comes to mind for me is Dexter. And I mentioned that during my reaction to the video. And the reason for that, the two reasons for that. One, we get the voice, the narration. And then two, we have a villain or slash anti-hero. Here it feels more like a villain, where in Dexter it was anti-hero. And both of those are very important to the use of the voiceover, because one thing that narration or voiceover can do, it can, by putting us deeply within the mind of the main character, it creates empathy for that character. And that's very useful if you're dealing with an anti-hero, doing things that he should feel he should be punished for. It makes us root for him when normally we wouldn't, or her. It can also make us complicit in their actions. It can create irony. And all those are very useful when you're exploring a dark character. And I just want to mention that for the saw, the old saw, is that narration doesn't work in cinema. And I've always thought that was a mistake, because when it's not used carefully, it just is a way of dealing exposition. Look at Blade Runner for an example of where the voiceover is mainly used for exposition, and a lot of times redundant exposition in Blade Runner. But because it's so effective in literature, I've always felt that it's underused in film and in TV shows. So one of the strengths of the series for me is in the narration. Secondly, about the genre, so it seems that the conceit of the show is that by showing us these narcissistic characters, it can make social media and modern technology complicit in feeding that narcissism. So 7 minutes in, we get what I think is the first real scene of this show. Before that, it's a generic show. You've seen that show many times. You've seen it on, you just name it. It feels like a CW show. And I don't use that lightly, because many of the people involved in the production of this come from CW. They have a history with CW network. But 7 minutes in, Joe breaks into What's-Her-Head's apartment, Beck's apartment, and begins messing around with her computer. So he goes on to, 7 minutes in, he gets her name. And when he's at the bookstore or at home, I think at home, he begins looking up her information. So he finds her Instagram. I can't remember if he finds her Facebook. I don't think so, but I remember Instagram specifically. And he says that this isn't the real her. This is just the front she wants to show other people. Probably similar to him. But of course, that's another component of the narcissism. People are reading others in the series based on their own needs and their own psychological drives. But to get back to the genre, so the twist now on the psycho killer stalker genre is the social media aspect, and that everyone that he is around, everyone in his circle of people that could be his intended victims, are all tied up in narcissism, and social media technology feeds that narcissism. We see that in fact not only in social media and in video conferencing with her friends, but the drape-free bayside windows, where her every intimate moment is shared with anyone passing by on the street. While Beck is pleasuring herself because Joe can see her outside, he does the same. And that also ties into the narcissism, because they're so self-involved, they have no way of connecting deeply with anyone else. The only way they can find sexual satisfaction is through self-satisfaction, through masturbation. So all that, I felt, all that, the way the theme tied up everything in the show, the plot and the characters, I thought that was very well done. Now let's get to a negative, and I did remark upon this during my reaction to it, and that's the dialogue is very cringy. It just feels too sharp, too on the point, waiting for the laugh track to hit it at the end, and it doesn't feel like what people say in that situation naturally. It feels like it's been doctored and punched up by a scriptwriter. And sometimes stylized dialogue, like Quentin Tarantino, can be a plus to the work of art. I think most people think Quentin is one of the best writers in cinema, and his dialogue is part of that. And that's because it can be clever, but it can also feel very natural, and it can have a rhythm, and then it can not have a rhythm. It doesn't always feel artificially sweetened, whereas the dialogue in here felt just a little touch too strong, touch too sharp. So I see that I had a note about satire, what is it target, but I think, and these were extemporaneous notes as I was watching the show. Sorry, on my phone. But I think it's quite clear that the narcissism of millennial culture is the target. That's who's being satirized. Although we get the scene of the drunk bum who I was calling Tom Waits. He seems to be just as self-involved as the younger people. So I think just narcissism in general could be seen to be one of the targets. So we got a clue to the character of Joe, and that was because he said Don Quixote is his favorite novel, and that sometimes the weakest people need the most help because they're the most special. So we see that he wants to be the prince that rescues people around him, and he looks like he's willing to go to murderous lengths to do it. So he's got some sort of great delusion, just like Quixote. But unlike Quixote, I think he's probably danger in a way that Quixote was not. Beck walks off the platform because she's so absorbed in her phone. Another example of the narcissism. I know I complained about the friends of Beck, that they just felt like they came out of CW Central Casting. A little too beautiful, didn't feel like a natural group of friends. It felt like a group of actresses hired to be friends. Anything else? I think we kind of got, I think I kind of got all my notes pretty much. One I remarked upon was that Joe's too smart. He's too on top of everything and everyone. Where is his weakness? Where is the person that's going to challenge him? So we don't have a lot of sense of vulnerability for Joe. And that's part of his narcissism, but we need stakes. We need to feel that he's at risk. The one scene that comes closest is when he's rifling through Beck's personal information on the phone, and she comes home, so he runs into the shower. And that was the scene that should have been the moment where we're really worried for Joe, but Joe undercuts it by saying, I've seen all the rom-coms, and I know somehow I get out of this. So there's got to be that balance of making him the character that doesn't worry too much, but there's a distance from us to that character, and we can see he's in danger in a way that maybe he doesn't sense. If we go back to Dexter season 1, I've watched that season twice, and I think it's one of the best single seasons of that decade, along with season 4 of Dexter. But one of the things that makes season 1 so good is that they begin to turn the screws on the character of Dexter, and every episode the jeopardy to him gets increased. And you see he's always just this close from being caught, and he's aware of it. And maybe that's part of the challenge for him. But he's also got people around him he's genuinely worried about, his sister for one. And he's always got this mentor of his father looking after him. So the stakes are always very real. Joe is very much a sociopathic character, should not be concerned about those things, but because he's been marked as special in a way, and we get the flashbacks to show how he is, he does sense danger, and the writers do a good job of making us feel that those stakes are always being increased. And I didn't feel that in the pilot episode. So that, I think that was the two main criticisms I have for the story were the dialogue writing and the lack of stakes for the main character. And that's it. That's my review of You, Season 1, Episode 1 Pilot. I hope you enjoyed my reaction and my review. Please join me again on this channel. Until next time, take care and be well. Goodbye.